Hey everybody, welcome back to the 25th episode of the Perfect Tips and Tricks with OESD. I can't believe we've made 25 episodes already, so happy birthday to us. I am always so excited to welcome you all. So say hi, tell me where you're from, tell me what the weather's like, tell me if you are arguing with your children or your husband or just happy to be where you are. I am happy to be here. This is a bright spot in my day for sure. So today, really excited. We have a new release. Sometimes I really enjoy sharing our new releases with you guys. We have a awesome new release from our called Squeeze the Day. And I have an example here for you of it. Some of you have been eagle eye watching and have seen this in the background. It usually lives over there. But this is a sample from Squeeze a Day. It's been super popular on the Facebook group this morning. Yes, hello everyone. Hi Linda. Hi Lori. Hi Melissa. And yes, Mom, I am wearing my lemon earrings. These were a gift from my mother. They are my lemon earrings in celebration of our new Squeeze the Day collection. So I wish I had more lemony things. It's really kind of fun how certain things become trendy, and you guys have probably seen all of a sudden lemons are everywhere, and I think that's totally an appropriate thing. They're bright and happy and a little sweet and a little sour, and I suppose that's a good analogy for life, especially right now. Lots of sweet, little bit of sour. We have to make lemonade out of lemons, right? So that's what we're all doing. So hello to Annette. Let's see who else is out there. Karen is there. Carolyn, Nancy. Thank you all for saying hi. It makes me very happy to see you all out there. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Tim. He's hiding in the background. Tim, there you are. Don't forget to unmute yourself because I know I would. There you are. Perfect. So Tim, some of you guys remember from a couple weeks ago now, Tim was here talking to us about freshwater fish. And this is really exciting because Tim really was instrumental in creating this collection. So Tim, the floor is yours.
All right. Sure.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Hello, everybody out there. Good to see you. Glad we can do this for you guys and kind of show you what we have that's new. I think it was interesting that, like Carrie was saying, lemons, and it's an analogy for life. We're all making sacrifices, right? So I'm actually broadcasting from my daughter's bedroom, which is a little weird. My wife works from home right now also, and two daughters that are doing school from on the computer. So they kind of take over my office, and then every day I have to make a makeshift office here.
I'm sure if we saw the rest of your view, it would
be some stuff in here. So maybe some of it will inspire me for some embroidery. Who knows?
That's right. Hey, if anybody's got girly embroidery ideas, Tim is in the mood.
But anyway, glad I'm here. I can kind of introduce you guys to the new collection that came out today called Squeeze the Day. And let me just share my screen so everybody can see. There we go.
Perfect.
Some of you guys have kind of already seen some of the stuff that Carrie's been putting together, and I know that a lot of you guys have actually have the collection through, through the programs. But let me just kind of run you through the collection, or just some of the stuff in the collection. You can kind of see the process. Here's just the big "When Life Gives You Lemons" design. Let's try to use a little highlighter here so you guys can see better. There we go.
Awesome.
So we'll kind of go through this. This collection was actually inspired. Well, this was Sunblooms was a collection that I worked on a few years back, and the stitches just turned out amazing. And when you sew it on black, all that color is so vibrant. And when we do these collections, I work really, really closely with the digitizer to make sure that, we're being innovative and producing just different types of stitches that we can kind of catalog without, for lack of a better term. We've been doing this stuff for so long that, we can just kind of go back to previous stuff and say, wow, look at that. We could use that in this collection. And so when we were thinking about lemons, we thought, well, let's get something different, something that stands out. And so I thought of this collection, Sunblooms, that we had put together, the design team. And so we went from that, and we just tried to, first, of course, I developed a few for everybody to look at. But this was a really nice collection. You guys might look into it. Just kind of a...
It's one of my favorites. If you haven't stitched out Sunblooms, I know we're kind of on a tangent, but this is a tangent I appreciate for sure, because this is one of my all-time favorite collections because there's just so much texture and interest. They're beautiful designs, but they're just so textural. And this is all stitched just with our wonderful, fabulous Isocord thread. It almost looks like it's done with something heavier, but it's all just done in Isocord, and it's just beautiful. I've done it in blues and in purples. It's in that kind of rusty palette there, but if you Sharon out in the comments says she has Sunblooms. Hopefully you like it, Sharon, but it's one of my favorites. And so when Tim sort of brought up that idea of doing the lemons in the Sunbloom style, I was all for it because it's kind of unique out there, that collection, and it was great to be able to kind of bring that back again.
Yeah, and it's really kind of a challenge for the digitizers, when we're trying to emulate a hand-stitched look. So a lot of this has kind of a hand-stitched kind of feel. And there's just this, all the different special tricks that they have to do to kind of, it's the length of the stitches and the width but they do such an awesome job. So that was what inspired the look of the collection. And here we're looking at kind of just the run through, and we can kind of go step by step. First, I wanted to say that, we always kind of say art is the beginning, but it's really not. We have such an awesome team, and we're all kind of this creative type people. And we have to lean on each other as far as to understand like what's trending and what needs to be put on the schedule. And so just, to have that team put in place really, really helps me as an artist because, I'm not always the most trendy kind of guy. So I just, I like to listen to what everybody's ideas are. And I had no idea lemons were popular. So
yeah, it was fun. We had, we have weekly, just kind of as a peek behind the curtain, we have weekly art meetings. We call them art parties because art is way more fun than just a meeting. And we talk a lot about what's trendy and what's coming up. And we'll put together mood boards of kind of the feel that we want for something. And I think that helps our artists a lot kind of know what direction to go in, because lemons could go any which way. They could just be applique lemons, they could be just flat fill stitch lemons, and all of those would be great, but kind of figuring out the feel that we want for the collection. And then we give Tim and the other artists that mood board, and it kind of sends them on a direction.
Right. And it's a huge help. I mean, to be able to just sit and talk about and brainstorm and get everybody's thoughts, and people, we're all very, there's not a lot of drama about it. Everybody's just nice and it just works.
No way to be dramatic about art. Come on, we're having too much fun.
Sure, it's fun. I'll kind of run through, like you'll see there's a sketch there right here. And since I already had kind of an idea of what the stitches would be like as far as, since I'm designing the actual final art using my illustration software, I don't have to actually draw those little special stitches in the sketches because I know that I'm going to produce them later on. So it saves a little time. The sketch is really rough, and it's just more of a placement. I'm basically creating a template for myself, if that makes sense. And then when I go into the illustration software to create the final art, you'll also see that there's basically a difference from here to here and then to the scan of the sew out. This is all communication between me and the digitizer. I can create this big yellow space here knowing that it's going to become this chain stitch type fill that's really popular. And it's whenever I give them the art, I'm always putting notes down and saying this goes here and this type of stitch here. And so you'll see this is kind of a hand stitch kind of look and little lemon flowers. And so that's, the communication between myself and the design and the digitizers, and also with sew out, that I can review things and change things. But we just have this great team that works together. So I'll kind of run through a couple more and you can kind of see the difference. This one's a good one to look at because you'll kind of see there's no words in here. I just developed the shape and feel that I wanted, and when it produced it, I actually utilized Tara, who's one of our other inside artists, an amazing artist, and she's kind of our fonts expert, and so she's really good with fonts. And so we worked together to make it work, and so I trusted her to put the words in there and let me just write. And then jumping into the digitizing, you'll see I wouldn't have thought for that fill to be like that in the background, and they made it really cool. The work that they do is just amazing to see how the creative spirit that they have for their digitizing is amazing. So
yeah, that one was kind of fun because we had some font trial and error, I would say is a good way to put it. What you guys know of, playing with fonts for monograms or anything, that it truly is a trial and error process in a lot of ways. You can have a font you like and it just doesn't work for the project that you're working on. So we tried a bunch of different fonts and landed on that one, and I think it's great.
Yeah. This is a circle design. We wanted to have some just kind of a circle designs for, for placement in squares or whatever else you want to use it for. You'll see here the same thing. Like I just produced a thick line there where I knew I would be putting in some sort of a chain stitch type stitches there. And you'll jump over here, you'll be able to see I've worked with the digitizers for long enough. Now I can put in a basic standard chain stitch type fill look in my art. And then they actually have the creative power to create their own special stitches. And so I just totally trust them. I think it's relevant to have fun when you're working, and it definitely shows in their stitches. So here's just some close-up looks of a couple of the designs. You can see the special stitches there and the chain stitch fill within the lemon there, and the little sparkle really stands out. That's always a challenge too. We didn't know whether to sew these on white or black, but based on the success of Sunblooms, it just made a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I love that chain stitch fill. It's so, there's so much depth to it when it's stitched out. You can kind of really see it here, but it really truly looks like that chain stitch that you would do by hand. And it's just a really, it takes a little bit longer than a standard fill, but I think it's one of those things that's worth it. Sometimes those little extra touches, they may stitch a little slower, but worth every minute of it, I think.
Yep. Here we have a few of the projects. I think you saw this one earlier. Just some really, really cool, basically a table mat for, summer, and, even if you're going to make lemonade, that would be cool to put on there. I think these are awesome. One of the things I wanted to point out was, as the artist and even the digitizer, it's amazing for us to see how things reflect onto projects. And, even in the Perfect Stitch Facebook group, to see the colors that you guys use for appliques and how you put things together, you change the thread colors. We love that. It's inspiring. I wasn't a part of that group at first, and then when I got invited, it was actually a boost in my, while I was working. I was like, this really makes me feel good to see the creative nature of our consumers. It's just awesome. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, you guys keep putting stuff together, and feel free to be creative with what we create for you guys, because it's a plus for us too. So we want it to be about you guys. So.
Yes, and we appreciate you, Tim, and I think, like Tim said, he is secretly watching you all in the Perfect Stitch Facebook group. So when you share things, the digitizers see them and the artists see them, and that's so cool for them, because before that, it would be they're creating in a vacuum almost. So until they see that stuff. It really helps kind of inspire them for sure. So making sure there aren't any questions for Tim. Some questions that I'll answer, but not so much for Tim. So I appreciate your time, Tim, and I hopefully will have you on in the future at some recent point.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so that was, I love talking to Tim. It's always so much fun. And to answer some questions, the round table mat was done. Sharon, who's one of our educators, made that table mat, and there are not instructions for that are available to you guys really so she wrote that as a class for our dealers to offer. So your local OESD store may offer that as a class, but it's certainly a great inspiration image. Kathy, I can't really, unfortunately, give you any technical help, but if you send us an email to support@oesd.com, we will certainly happily help you there. And lastly, Patricia has asked if there's a kit with the thread that you can get. There is not a kit necessarily, but the threads that are used in the collection are usually shown underneath. When you are on our website, you can see the threads that are available there. I think that's all the questions from the crowd. Let's see. So tomorrow, let's recap. Tomorrow, Tamara will be back with us to go over layout options for our embroider along for our quilters building blocks. I see a bunch of you have posted pictures of those blocks. It is really fun. I'm thrilled you're joining me. It is just so cool to see all of you engage in that. And then on Thursday, Kay England will be with us, which I'm so excited. If you know Kay England, give her a shout out there. She is a riot. I promise you will have an awesome time. Even if her collection isn't one that you're interested in, you will love Kay. She is just so much fun. And then Friday, Tamara will be back with us to do finishing touches for our embroider along. And I have some news. Brace yourselves. Friday will actually be our last daily live stream for a little bit. Life is changing quickly, as you guys know, just with the way the world is unfolding. And believe it or not, I actually have another job besides doing live streams. And I need to be able to do too many things at once. So we will come back with live streams. We're going to go into a weekly format. Stay tuned. I'll let you know. I know it's sad. I feel sad too, but so as of Friday, we will not be streaming daily, but we will continue with live streams, and I will let you guys know the schedule and the time and all of that. If there's a time or a day of the week that works best for you, leave it in the comments. I'm sure we will get every time and every day available. So we cannot make everyone happy, but we definitely will continue to stream. We will just not be daily. I know, I'm sorry. The comments are coming in. I am very sorry, but we all do the things we have to do. So we will have about 30 episodes under our belt, and then we will go to a weekly format. So I love you guys, and I love that you are sad with me, because I am sad too. But you will certainly see all of our faces every week. We are not abandoning you, I promise. So thank you. As always, it's always great to see you. I will see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, as always, happy stitching.